All right, welcome back, everyone. Answering another call from Cthulhu. And tonight we return back to the asylum, where all of our investigators have left off with different opinions on how their sleep went last night. First and foremost, we'll start off with everyone's luck improvement rolls.
Oh yeah,
Oh, right.
we get to do that.
I
Yeah.
almost forgot.
I got the minimum amount of improvement.
Oh,
Rolling your luck improvement real quick.
oh. You have to roll above it this time, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck.
Rolled really good, didn't you?
Yeah, I rolled a 12.
I
Well,
think
what
you're
that's for the rest of your rolls in your real life luck.
I just rolled a 15.
The universe decided that we don't need any more luck. We're lucky.
Logan, just to check, are you hearing all right?
Hear it all.
Perfect. And as you guys finish up, just to give a wrap up of where we were. So you guys have just stayed at the asylum last night after doing some interviews there with a couple of lunatics, and you've recently found out about a recent murder that happened here at the asylum.
It's true.
Yeah, they were very reluctant to talk about it.
Yes, Miss Dr. Highsmith made it clear that he wants to keep everything what's going on with DL. That way, not too much bad is coming out about the asylum. But what he did say is he would have no issues with you guys going to the Hereford police and talking with them about what happened. He wasn't sure why you guys were all of a sudden interested in this, but wanted to give you full disclosure. You're free to investigate as you see necessary.
Well, since he's given
How
us.
could we not? Yeah, how could he not be interested in this? Like, we're trying to release this guy who supposedly very violently murdered his family, and then there just happens to be another murder in the facility he's in?
Yeah, there was just no evidence pointing to that. The only evidence that was known was that Mr. Harrowell, Lucius Harrowell, the inmate next to him, was the one who witnessed it happen, or maybe did it himself. Mr. Harrowell claimed it was the devil that performed this heinous act.
How convenient.
And as of last night, there was some very interesting dreams that were had. As one, Darren Prescott had some nightmares.
Trying to remember that.
Wasn't too pleasant. But you guys find yourselves now in the next morning. And you guys would be able to easily meet up within the halls of the asylum in the offices.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Well, I don't know if I would say good, but it is
Let's
a
see.
morning.
She's the only cheerful one out of the group.
How come all of you are always so gloomy? Just like,
Life is terrible.
I don't know about terrible, just inconvenient at times.
Well, what is the agenda for the day then?
I believe we have to go speak to the police.
We do wish to continue investigating this?
Well, I mean,
I mean, I'd say it's pretty interesting to look at the very least.
What about you, Lennon? What do you think we should do,
Garrett
my old friend?
What?
is asking you opinions.
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, Garrett was in the other room.
What do you think we should do, Lennon? I've always valued your opinion.
Have you?
Well, of course. We've been together for years.
Yeah. We have, haven't we? Well, all depends on how much you want to do beyond why we originally came here. We interviewed a man, we got the opinion to a man who doesn't care for what we had to say. Beyond that, how ambitious are you feeling about this? How much do you feel that we need to do more than what were we even gonna get paid for this?
I don't believe so. I think this was more of just a request for an extra opinion, you know?
Expert
Yeah,
advice.
personal
is what was
opinion.
Yeah.
thought out.
Yeah, well, right now we are the way that this doctor, I'm gonna put, there's air quotes as I say that, seems to believe in this man's
Innocence? Story?
story, innocence, just competence. He believes that this man is well, and clearly there is something, but if the doctor in charge will not listen to what we have to say, we are just now roped into this if something were to happen. So I don't want to leave it this way, but I don't know if digging into it anymore would do anything, considering the man won't see reason or even take our expert advice.
It's
Well, here's
a,
another thing, though.
yes.
What were you saying?
No, go for it.
Even if he himself isn't going to take our advice, because, I mean, you have to look at it from a professional view. I understand why he's reluctant to do so. It would mean that for the past 2 years, his treatments here at this facility have failed. That would be a stain on his reputation. So, of course, he needs it to be a success. But he's not the only person that could be. He's not the one that actually makes this decision. We learned also that the hearing for Alexander Robbie is on November 30th. So we have, if we really truly don't want to leave it this way and let this man go free, or we feel like there's something else we should do, we have until then to find out whatever we can and then present it at the hearing to stop him from being released.
Yeah, and hearing the police side of the thing might not be a bad idea.
Investigating this other murder that took place does seem like, even if it doesn't actually connect or in any way relate to what we are trying to do with Mr. Robbie, it's still pretty dang suspicious, and it has kind of fallen into our lap.
Very true. Very true.
Well, we're stuck here for the next couple of days anyway, right?
Yes, but aren't any of you actually curious as to what exactly transpired with the family?
Nope.
I mean,
Fuck
a
up.
little bit.
And you're not exactly stuck here.
Oh, that's how it works, huh?
Yeah, you weren't able to leave until the next day, as
Due to the train
there's
situation.
only- yeah, there's only
Yeah.
one that is currently coming in and out of town.
Oh, we could walk.
Essentially, that would be today, is what we can leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let me just change what I said then, because I'm done now. I think it's worth pursuing it, if anything, to get the full story.
Yeah, just to solve this mystery. Otherwise, I don't think I could sleep well with myself.
Join the club.
I'd have to tell myself that I spent the last couple days gathering information for no paycheck.
Alright. So,
Sounds like
up
it
to
said.
the Hereford police station.
Before we get to the police station, I say as we're on our way, what exactly are we trying to learn here? I think it's a good idea for us to at least discuss.
Fill in with questions.
Yeah, go. What questions do we want to ask? What do we want to know?
Well, in a case like this, wouldn't it be we want to see as to how this one person, he died, correct? Yeah. How he passed away, as to if it's in correlation to anyone else that is currently in the asylum, other than the one that we ourselves are investigating. Wouldn't
Yeah,
that be
and it might be worth figuring out if the recent murder was anything like the murder on the family 2 years ago.
Correct.
From what it sounded like, it did sound like they were very similar.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
At the very
but
least
it'd be
in
nice to
brutality.
yeah. Because here, what was said, speaking nonsense. Here, they are the devil, hands for blades.
I may be misremembering this, but when we were first talking to the attorney,
Yes.
didn't he also say that 2 years ago when Alexander Robbie was arrested, didn't he also say something about the devil?
He might have, but a little bit different. So, from what you heard about the murders from 2 years ago, were that there was 2 large gashes made on Alexander Robbie's sister, and his father had been pretty much cut open at the base of his neck and blood drained out.
Yeah.
So far, what you've heard about this murder from the lunatic was that there was the man and the devil would slash the man and slash the devil back and forth.
Just I don't know how much we could really read into his ravings, though. He clearly saw something, but he wasn't exactly a stable person beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah, didn't this Lucius Harrowell also claim to be the teacher of Robbie?
I think he did.
He did, yes.
Through the whole
Yes,
wall.
he did.
There was I believe we learned that there were more than one type of blood at the crime scene.
Yes.
That's pretty crazy. That's something that we should probably ask about when we're at the station.
If they'll even
If
divulge
they're
it.
willing to disclose this.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
during
The
this
doctor
time,
might be able to get that information from the police.
all the further they would know is the blood type, correct? Because they don't have DNA stuff at that point in time, right?
They do.
Do they?
It's
In
just
the
not that.
20s?
Yeah, it's just not that.
See, I thought it was closer to like the 30s and 40s.
It's like the type of blood. It's like A or B.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I meant
I'm surprised they even know the blood types.
Pretty sure that's about
Guess
the
we
extent of it.
underestimate the
Yeah. Yeah, I figured
19th,
on that part.
20
No, I
Brits.
said DNA part of it, though.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't think that was until much later.
I don't
Revolutionists.
know.
Jolly good show.
Is that good for pre-arrival conversation?
think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Dr.
We went
Highsmith,
through what we learned.
Dr. Highsmith would have lent you guys the
Yeah, it wasn't
driver
in 1986.
and cab for the actual asylum.
Oh, that's nice of
Right at the is well aware that you were going to look into this. So, as you guys arrive, I need either credit rating or appearance checks from.
Credit rating it is.
From everyone?
Let me see.
Insurance checks from the fucking goblin.
I think my appearance is superior to my credit rating.
My credit.
So is mine
Shit.
by about 20 fucking points.
Mine's just a
Oh, my
regular
appearance is
success.
way better than my credits.
Oh, my credit. Yeah, credit rating
Now that
is
we're
more
no
than
longer
triple my
including something.
appearance.
We gotta roll below the number,
Yes.
Mhm.
so I think this works.
Oh yeah, I failed.
I got a hard success.
I got a regular success for credit rating.
Oh no, I was close to a hard success, but a little off.
Yeah.
So normal success.
I got a 66 out of 0
Out of which one?
credit rating.
You could have done appearance, although it still would have been a fail.
It's 10/20.
No, his character, these are his weak points.
Yeah.
Ah, come on, don't mess with her now.
All right. So as you guys walk in, you can see that there is a superintendent that was walking by as you guys walk in. Immediately turns to you guys and looks right at the nicer two of the group. The Lady Francesca, as well as Darren Prescott, and he
Did
addresses.
you just look at her wallet?
I
He
have
addresses
nice
you
attire on.
specifically. Ah, well, hello there. How can I help you?
I believe that we're in search of somebody that can assist us in a particular case that happened somewhat recently.
Well, I may be able to help you. I'm Superintendent Wallace Reese. How may I help?
Wallace Reese. Well, Mr. Reese, I am hoping to ascertain if there are any similarities between a case that I'm currently looking after versus a case that has happened recently. I would like to see if there are any similarities in methods of attack or anything that is pertinent or able to divulge in the conversation.
Well, I may be able to help. I'll need a little bit more information. Here, come with me into my office.
We're in.
Leading you over to a smaller office where there's a couple of other officers that are posted in there at desks working away. And he sits at a centering desk that has a couple chairs in front of it. Only 2 chairs in front of it, but then back by a wall there's about 10 chairs in a row.
I'll take a chair by the back wall and sit down.
I thought you would
Yeah,
grab it and join.
gestures for Darren and Lady Francesca to sit by him.
I will take a seat.
I will also join.
I guess I'll choose not to sit by Wallace. It's Wallace Reese, right? That's what we're meeting.
Yes.
All right. I will, since he clearly wants Prescott and Francesca to sit by him, I'll make sure not to take a seat by him.
Yeah, I'll keep my distance for now as well. Though walking through these things, taking a quick glance around, are there any documents laying on desks with names that I recognize?
Kind of hard to tell. So the desks are a little further set back in the office, and you could think that it might be seen a little strange for you to just walk up and look at the desk.
Inconspicuously. No, okay.
walks around and sits down before you two, and then sits back in his chair, and he gestures for you to speak.
Prescott, I believe you have this one. I am not the best with words.
Oh, thanks.
Neither is he.
I am best with my hands for surgery and medical documents.
Well, as we said, we and our compatriots here have recently begun looking into some suspicious slayings that took place a few years ago. I don't know if you're aware of the Robbie killings that took place in what was it, in London?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't say that I am. It's a little out of my jurisdiction.
I understand. I figured that was a long shot, but it's recently come to our attention yesterday that a couple of months ago there was a nurse that also suffered a very similar fate up at St. Agnes.
Ah, yes, the asylum. Well, it's an interesting case. In fact, has many people abuzz even to this day, just as the uniqueness of it.
Unique in what way?
Well, you see, looking over that case and taking a look at what happened, we had definitively found on the scene two distinct separate blood types. And at the scene, there was also two kitchen knives, and in the laundry was a slashed, soaked, and just bloody nurse uniform. Now, all of this being said, we only ever found one body, and there was blood enough there to have killed two. And the body was still in uniform, so we suspect that, well, our only suspect was the inmate there at the time. What's the name? Harrowell, I believe, was the last name of that particular inmate.
Lucius Harrowell.
Yes, but we couldn't even pin it on him. See, there was no blood on him whatsoever.
No, hold on. You found a slashed up bloody nurse's uniform with no nurse in it?
Yes, yeah, down in their laundry. We'd assumed that there was a second victim. Again, there was blood enough there to have killed two, and we even called for a lineup of their men there, and nobody there had any injuries, and everyone was dressed in uniform, and we responded as quick as we could. And I can't quite explain it.
Interesting.
So, without any further evidence, there was nothing that we could truly take against Mr. Farrell. All we did was advise that the asylum keep him under possibly stricter regulations. Beforehand, they were giving him some leniency due to good nature, but it seems he must have had a relapse. Even though the situation, it's hard for me to fully believe that he could have done it.
Well,
Do you have any prevailing theories, any working, what do you feel happened there?
Honestly, I can't put it together. I mean, we should have two bodies, and we don't. And we should have an attacker covered in blood or slash wounds or something. We have nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Was there ever any reports of another missing individual? Anyone else missing from the asylum?
Nurse
No.
or otherwise?
No one missing, and we couldn't even come up with any sort of motive. We conducted interviews. But we have absolutely nothing.
Have you correlated the blood type matches to whoever is within the building versus the nurse that was murdered?
No, there's nothing we can truly do with that. We have such a common blood types that were found. Uh, one of the blood types we could easily match to the deceased Mr. Wiggs.
Yes.
Otherwise, the other one was just an A positive.
I mean, everyone has blood. It's not like we could determine individually who it came from.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
It would be wonderful, and hopefully in future insights would progress that.
Yeah, and maybe one day we'll be flying through the sky.
I mean, airplanes are still
They
a
do
thing.
have planes.
This guy doesn't know that.
So yes. Now you said you were looking for something to relate it to a different case, though. Is there any details on this other case?
Well, a few years ago, a young man named Alexander Robbie was found in his home along with the deceased bodies of two of his family members, his father and his sister, both of whom were very brutally slashed up and exhumed.
I see.
When we heard the story at the asylum of this nurse who was slain, the brutality and the bladed weapons immediately made us think that the two sound very similar.
Yes.
Well,
As with this case also, there was never any evidence to show that Alexander Robbie was actually guilty of the crime other than him simply being found there. There was never any evidence of a struggle or blood or wounds, cuts, nothing to link him to it other than him simply being there near them.
Yes.
okay. And so
Much like this Harwell.
nearby, Alexander Robin. Who is this? Is this another lunatic or is this a nurse?
He is a patient, yes.
Currently.
Well, give me one moment. He reaches down and he flips through a bunch of files. All right. Robbie, you said was the last name. Let me take a look. We took extensive notes on everyone there because again we couldn't pin this on anyone. Let's see. During time of the attack, no, couldn't be possible. Alexander Robbie was actually in an interview with Dr. Highsmith there during the time.
Well,
Intriguing.
Now, was Dr. Highsmith the one who gave you this information?
Yes, but it was also confirmed with a few of his nurses' aides.
Okay. Because I know he records all of the conversation he has with Mr. Robbie.
good.
Yes, and he was able to give a copy of the conversation that day, though I wouldn't call it much of a conversation.
It does seem to be pretty one-sided. Is there a chance we could listen to it?
Oh no, it was written down and names were blocked out as, of course, there was client information that he couldn't share.
Dr. Patient confidentiality.
Yeah, exactly. That little roadblock.
As soon as I get out of here, I'm gonna kill again, Doc.
But no, from what we found, there's no other way that we could really relate him to it.
Well, we weren't suggesting necessarily that Robbie was responsible. We were simply stating that there are enough similarities between these two cases that it's cause for
Suspicious.
investigation, to say the least.
Especially when their current cells are next door to each other.
Interesting. It's an interesting thought. Uh, if I had more information or any theories that I could share, I would gladly do so. Of course, if you do any other investigative work, I'm happy to hear what you can find. But I mean, being that
Now,
this was such an odd one, I think it'd be hard to place anything.
now, sir, were you personally on the scene with the responders?
Yes, yes. As soon as I could arrive,
Were you alone or did you bring colleagues?
I've brought colleagues, of course.
Is there a chance they would be willing to share their findings with us?
Well, I would have all of that. They report directly to me.
Ah, I see, I see.
Is there anything else you can think of? Anything that stands out about this case? Anything you haven't mentioned yet?
No, just the sheer oddity of it.
If you had to put your finger on it blindly, who would you point out as a gut feeling, let's say?
That's the problem. The only person that we could point at is that inmate. And if I were to listen to my gut on this one, I do not think that it was him.
Hmm.
I don't even think he had the mental capacity for it, but that was the best suggestion that we could come up with.
I see.
Sir, if you don't mind me asking,
Yes.
what do you think of Dr. Highsmith?
Dr. Highsmith? Well, he's been a
Yes.
fine man to work with.
Would you have?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, continue.
No, I was going to say, if ever there were anything to say about, you know, what do they call them? Psychoanalysts or something of the sort, therapists?
Aliens.
Alienists, yes. You know, if there's anything to say about that trade, I'd say that he seems to be a respectable man in it. And he was very forthcoming and willing to work with us in regards to the case.
Well, the impression I got of him that he didn't seem too interested in looking any further into this possible double murder. And I can't help but wonder if he just wants us to be swept under the rug to save the reputation of his business.
Almost certainly. I mean, I think the whole business is a bit of a quack business, but you know, at least they're able to put all these people somewhere to get them off of the streets. It makes for a lot less crime.
I suppose so.
What an archaic way to look at it. Thank you, Superintendent.
Of course.
Mr. Reed.
If you find
Superintendent
anything
Reeves.
or want any more information, feel free to stop by.
Indeed.
Any other questions?
Actually, you said you had a copy of the conversation between Mr. Robbie and Mr. Highsmith, even though some names were blotted out. Is there a chance for us to look at that?
Yeah, here, I could probably show you this. He shows it to you, and it's actually not much of a long record. Mostly you see just a few notes of Dr. Highsmith talking with Robbie. You see a lot of periods of just Dr. Highsmith talking with Robbie responding with like a word or two, maybe mentioning poetry. Nothing really.
So there aren't any mentions of, what did I write down here? Casilda, Solum, Carcosa,
Not on this one. It's actually very mundane.
Okay, no Malcolm, no Edward.
No, but you do see one word that is blocked out. It's a name, and all you can pick up is afterwards. Dr. Highsmith says, "Ah, you've mentioned her before."
Her, that's right. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I can't find the name back.
Oh, oh, if you need a reminder, I think he mentioned Delilah when we entered the room.
Delilah. Here said Alex has a lot of poetry, says Delilah. I just found it, yes. Interesting. So, and this was at the exact time the murder was supposed to take place?
A little bit with inside of that, a little bit outside of it. It was a decently long interview by the looks of it.
Okay, thank you.
But of course, anything else, everyone?
I'm
No. Yeah, I can't think of anything else, so
Not currently.
Fucking cows.
maybe we should ask the stenographer who writes all of this down.
If we're are we done here? Are we gonna leave?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else we
No.
can do here.
Looking back over the notes, something caught my eye this time that I didn't remember before. Nurse Evans tried to get Dr. Highsmith's attention to tell him about something, but then was shrugged off rudely.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Perhaps we should seek him out.
Or
Yeah.
see, do we want to try and talk to Nurse Evans, or when the interaction there that took place, was that more or less just I don't know, was that a demonstration of Dr. Highsmith, just kind of throwing his weight around, like, I'll talk to you when I want to talk to you?
I mean, if you want to go talk to Bones, you certainly can.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, all we can do is talk to people, so might as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have any other leads at the moment.
that's true.
All right. Well, as you guys get back to the vehicle, the man looks at you. So, are you done with our town, or is there somewhere else I should take you?
Is there a place you would recommend for visitors to choose, or some places that seem to be frequented a lot by the locals?
Yeah, the train station.
Well, of course, yes, the train station usually seen for most people who make some sort of commute to London. Otherwise, there's of course the pub in town, but normally people aren't gathering there until later in the evening.
What time is it right now, if you don't mind my asking?
Currently it is right about 11:15.
Aha. And I'm guessing people usually tend to gather at the pub after tea time?
Yes, into the evening.
Okay. Might not be a bad place to hang out for a bit, later.
Of course, the
Something
train
to
comes.
keep in mind.
The train will be in the late afternoon at about 4:40.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind going back to the asylum and trying to speak to this Nurse Evans.
But of course,
Yeah, not a bad idea.
I mean,
she'll drive you back.
if some other people would rather stay here in town, we could meet later at the pub, or we could all go together. It's up to you guys.
Splitting the party.
I'd rather not be alone in a foreign place.
Agreed.
sense of adventure.
We're adventuring just as a group.
But a lot of sense of personal preservation.
Yes.
You say coward, I say smart.
So,
I wouldn't mind speaking to Nurse Evans myself.
Yeah. Okay.
so yeah, you guys get a trip right back to the asylum. And I'm assuming if you speak with Dr. Highsmith, you'll have no problem calling up Nurse Evans to get him to you.
Good. That saves the subterfuge.
So yes, Nurse Evans, let me call him up as he rings up a little intercom. Nurse Evans, please come to Dr. Highsmith's office. Nurse Evans.
Watch, he's dead.
No. I'm also waiting for it, to be honest.
Wow, everyone just appears to be dying all the time here.
A few moments later, you recognize a man who comes through the door as who you heard earlier referred to as Evans. Yes.
Mr. Evans.
Yes.
Might we, my colleagues and I here, have a quick word with you?
Sure.
You don't mind if we use your office for a moment, do you, Highsmith?
Dr. Highsmith stands up. Oh, I don't mind. I needed to go and speak with one of our guests, anyways. So, yes, you may have my office. He
Thank you.
gathers up a few papers and he locks his files real quick and he walks out.
The moment he
Thank
leaves the room, I'm gonna double check if whatever recording device he has is off, so he doesn't snoop as to what we're doing.
Well, I think his recording device is someone who writes down all the information.
Yeah. So far, you've not seen any actual like voice recorders.
Or
Taking a quick glance around Mr. Highs or Dr. Highsmith's office, does anything stand out?
I mean,
Like,
it's
is
a
it very organized or like disarray or?
Does he have one of those like big self-portrait I'm a dickhead paintings over his office?
Well, nothing like that, but it is a very organized office. He's got a good few locked filing cabinets, and his desk is actually very cleaned up and made of a nice fine oak.
Ooh, it's
Uh,
not
yeah.
mahogany.
No, no.
Does he have any like bookcases with books in it?
Yes, he has one bookcase that is full of a lot of looks like psychoanalytical literature.
Ah, not my type of read.
Gibberish, you mean?
I'm going to look to see if he has any of the books that do not pertain to his profession on it.
From what you
One written by Darren Prescott.
Ugh.
From what you can see, no. But as you're doing that, Evans looks at you. So, can I help you guys?
Yes. My friends and I here recently began investigating a few things going on, some creepy things, but we remembered yesterday that there was a point when Dr. Highsmith was giving us a tour of the place. You came up and urgently requested his attention in a matter, and he not very kindly told you to wait a moment
Blew you off.
before continuing on. Yes, he blew you off. We were wondering if you would be able to tell us what the pressing matter was that you were trying to bring his attention to.
Nothing I can share, It's client personal information and all that. Can't share it.
Are you sure you can't tell us? I mean, it's not like he's here to find out, and it would strictly be between you and us.
Look, yeah, you might have heard. I've snuck pencils every now and then. Who is it you're looking at, Robbie? Yeah, I've snuck him some pencils, but I don't go that beyond what I'm allowed to do.
Did it have anything to do with the recent murder here in the asylum?
Well, I can say no, but also I'm not going to tell you anything more.
Hmm.
Looking at this guy, does he seem nervous at all?
No, he actually seems very cool and collected.
Hmm.
Did it have something to do with Robbie?
He
Or
looks,
perhaps Mr. What's his name? Mr. Harlow?
looks right at you. What would I have to do with a couple of insane people?
Your work.
Well, it's funny that you say that because your boss here is quite convinced that one of those people is not insane and is trying to get him released.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a lot better than a few of the other lunatics here.
Hmm. Just because he's better does not mean that he should be released.
Yeah, well, I didn't ask you.
Oh. Dr. Highsmith did, though.
Well, that's his problem, not mine.
That's fair enough.
Is there anything strange you can tell us about the brutal murder that happened here a few months ago? The unfortunate nurse. I assume you knew each other.
Not really. I was relatively new at the time.
Okay. Anything you can tell us about it?
Not really. Try not to gossip.
Suspicions
Oh,
of
come
the
on,
things I've heard
Evans.
about.
You're a nurse,
You
you
gotta-
liar. Gossip is what you do.
You know, you have to have gossiped about that incident at some point.
No, my focus is on the people that we have staying. In particular, yeah, I've grown pretty attached to Mr. Robbie. He, good person to listen to you. Never want to talk.
Does he ever talk about his poetry to you?
Doesn't really say much.
Have you read his poetry?
No, no, he's enjoys writing it. That's why I got him a pencil or two here and there. But
Has he ever asked for it, or did you just give it to him?
oh, he's asked for the pencils.
Okay. Has he asked for anything else?
No, just wanted to
Interesting.
write. Why
Hmm.
dying to see those two. Yeah,
Why
I know.
Sorry, continue.
It's against the rules to give inmates stuff, but I mean, you could ask other people. Everyone here does it every now and then. Gives an inmate that they favor something, so long as it's nothing dangerous.
Right.
I mean, I heard of a guy who could mess people up with a pencil, just saying.
Yeah, John something, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, some inmates likely would use a pencil, and I wouldn't dine to give them one, but Robbie's been nonviolent.
Do I get the sense that this guy is hiding anything from us, or is he being pretty open?
Well, do you want to give me a psychology check?
Yeah.
Or would that be psychology, or that would be more psychoanalytics? No, psychology will work.
That is a 56 out of 60.
All right.
Ooh.
you can tell that there is something he's not sharing with you, but he he's also very confident in what he's saying.
Confident in what he's saying, as in he's telling us the truth, or he is very confident that he can hide something.
It looks like, from what you can tell, that he's likely telling you the truth. Um, but I mean, there might be some words between things that he's not saying. A bit hard to tell, but you can tell he's not sharing everything.
Okay.
Evans, does Dr. Highsmith often ignore you like he did the other day?
All depends on what he's doing. Sometimes he will listen to me if I need him. Sometimes he won't.
So he does put things above the well-being of his patients and staff.
I'd say so. He's not a bad man.
His priorities may not be
In order.
what they seem.
One more question. Do you know who is usually responsible for the recording of the interviews?
I believe he was with you when you guys were walking through. The
Yeah, I got orderly
Mr.
Price's name. Mr. Who?
Reeves.
Reeds. Thank you. The name escaped me.
Are you sure there's nothing
Mr.
else?
Reeves.
Yeah.
Are you trying to persuade the man to say something, Darren?
Definitely not trying to persuade.
What's my persuasion?
But I am going to try and fast talk him. I'm going to lean in a little closer. Say, look, Mr. Evans, you just came from the Hartford police station, and they are very much worried about this apparent murder that, as of right now in the books, is still unsolved. And they're definitely going to be taking a lot harder look at this place. Now, I don't know what you were trying to tell Mr. Highsmith, but I definitely think, do you really want to keep secrets? Do you want things going on here that you're not being honest about when they start combing through this place? And believe me, they will.
Alright, give me your fast talk.
Don't you have to say it really fast?
Shut up.
It's a 70 out of 75.
Oh my god.
Damn, you're really good at lying.
He leans back into you, says right into your ear, the only thing they're gonna find is Dr. Highsmith's reports and my pencil giving. And with that, he kind of pushes you back away from him, as if he was uncomfortable with you being so close.
Let him kill him.
I pull out a bottle.
Don't say that.
I put the bottle away.
I think it for a moment.
I'm gonna unbutton
Probably
my the sleeves on my shirt.
Yeah.
Alright?
Well, I knew it was a long shot, but figured this might be something. It might be
Get out of here.
Thank you for taking some time out of your day to come talk to us.
Well, thanks for using up some of my time. I gotta get to work. So yeah, leaves the office.
Fucker.
So So maybe we should
Well-
talk to Mr. Reed. He might still remember some of the goings on there.
Well, my idea led
No.
to a dead end, so
Say again? Sorry.
my idea was a dead end. So yes, let's go talk to somebody else.
Maybe Mr. Reeves won't be so tight-lipped. I'm not sure exactly what his position is here, but does he just write down conversations?
Yeah, he's a secretary. So he's just got a small office, not far away from where you guys were sleeping, where he basically types up all of his notes from everything that he jots down while he's listening in.
He's a professional eavesdropper.
And stenographer.
If he knows anything, then he will have written it down.
Yeah, he might be able to give us some details that weren't in the official reports too.
Let's hope he's a bit more forthcoming than the Nurse Evans there.
Oh, well, damn, we should have picked up some chocolates or smokes or something.
Ah, bribery works where words fail. Damn.
I mean, doesn't always have to be of
Hey,
physical force.
Secret Keeper, can I make a luck roll to see if I remember to pick up some goodies to possibly bribe people with?
You know what? Yeah, go ahead and give me a luck roll.
Okay.
This sign will just pass over about chocolates.
I rolled a 9.
Nice.
Alright. Yeah. So you
Belgian chocolates.
quickly find some things that would likely intrigue people working in a place like this. You know, cigars, some nice little chocolates and everything. So yeah, you got a few things that you could
I mean, there's also whiskey.
Awesome.
The
Now,
prohibition's not happening in here.
which one of us is more socially handled?
I'm good at lying to people.
But not me.
Supposedly had a good persuade skill.
You know, Miss, yeah, you've got a way with words, I'd say. How about you hold on to these gifts?
Me?
No,
Wait a sec.
Like,
Herbert? I think your name isn't Herbert. Your name is. I wrote it down.
Are you talking
What was that?
about
Sorry.
Walter Park?
Walter.
Yeah, Walter. Sorry.
We're thinking of a different
Walter.
playthrough. Oh, like,
Different person.
what? Well, yeah.
Never can accept the bribes for you later.
I mean, you might be putting them to better use than I could, so.
Okay, I'll just write that down in my gears and possessions.
Right.
Bribe stuff.
Right. Oh. Fucking perfect. That's gonna be great later when it comes up. Just like, yeah, what are you gonna give him? Ooh, well, I have bribe stuff marked down here. Let's give him some of that.
Oh god. I was drinking cider. Ow.
All right. Well, Mr. Reed's office is not far away, and you can hear the clattering of a typewriter just going to town in there.
Nice.
Clickety clack clack.
Hello? Or is there someone else in the room with him?
Yeah. Well, right now his door is closed.
Oh, fair
What if
enough.
I open it?
This
Did you open the window?
Trying to break in?
What's he gonna do? Cry for help? He won't get here in time.
I'm trying for what?
It says the door was closed, not locked.
We don't know that.
So the door's closed. Send Logan to murder him. That escalated so fucking quick, Logan. Let's go talk to this man to breaking an entry and murder.
All I'm saying is if we want it in there, There's not much you can do to stop us.
It's better than
I
instant.
mean, it's true.
So I see Logan's done talking.
Alright, so,
Oh, knock on the
Okay.
damn door.
you just hear from inside, come in.
I'll open the door.
Good, we start off on the layers.
I'll follow.
As you open the door, you see a man lifting his glasses and rubbing his eyes as you guys step into the room and sets them back down and refocuses in. Hello?
I'm gonna close the door behind us.
Ominously.
Yeah, kind of tugs at his collar a little bit. Is something I could do?
We're
Hi,
here to kill you.
Mr. Reeves. As we understand it, you're the on-call stenographer here at the asylum, correct?
Wouldn't say more as always on the clock rather than on call, but yeah.
'Cause we just read over a copy of one of the interviews that Dr. Highsmith had with Mr. Robbie, but because of it was sent to the police, and because of the confidentiality rules, some of the names were blotted out, and we were wondering if you had the original document.
I wouldn't keep it with me. Dr. Highsmith would have it in the file.
Oh, but maybe I bet a man of your standing has a very decent memory. And this is where I will start my flattery attempt. Or
Alright.
what's the word? Charm?
Yeah, charm.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you
Indeed.
could pick out some details. Like, were there any things that stood out during that conversation when the murder happened?
Okay. Did you make your roll?
Not yet. I am about to.
Alright.
Okay, so let's roll again. And I rolled a 17 out of 35.
Alright. Alright. So, I wish I could help you a little bit more. I know you guys are working on the Robbie case, so I no problem telling you what I know, but trying to recall a specific conversation from it would have been a few months ago, I think. It's hard for me to recall. I could barely remember last Tuesday.
Fair enough. I figured it might just be a shot.
Why? What happened Tuesday?
I don't know. Would you tell me?
Oh, sorry, I'm a little drunk. Shouldn't drink at Cthulhu, kids.
So, yeah, I wish I could give you something, but I couldn't tell you what's going on. It's been so much time, and I've written so much.
Are you the only stenographer on call, and are you in call for all the patients, or just for a select few?
No, I'm not the only one, but I cover about a quarter of the asylum.
I see.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
You have been present for all of these conversations that have taken place with Mr. Alexander Robbie. I know you may not be a professional alienist or anything of that nature, but having been present and heard the conversations and seen his mannerisms up close, would you recommend that he be released?
I mean, I'm no alienist, but the guy sits there silently all the time. I don't know. I don't know what's right for people to be out there. I mean, unlike some of the other people here, he's not straight up trying to attack us when we go in and talk with them or give them his food or his medicine. But I don't know. Sometimes of the year, the man's just sitting there. It looks like everything's left his body.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, just don't let Dr. Highsmith know that I gave you an opinion. I mean, he,
Oh, no, absolutely not. Of course, this stays between us.
yeah, he wanted your guys' opinion, and he's been mulling it over in his office here. You should hear him sometimes.
How so?
What does he say?
Well, I mean, it sounds like you guys are likely against him being released, and Dr. Highsmith does want to take your guys' info into consideration, but keep hearing him talk about aspirations and getting out of this shithole called Hereford.
Hmm.
Oh.
And a failure like not being able to rehabilitate a patient after 2 years of extensive work would certainly put a damper on that, as well as there being a murder under the institution that he's in control of.
Actually, less that. It's more of like, I keep hearing him say big break. I think he's on. He's got some sort of theory by the sounds of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about this theory?
No, no. I mean, I listen into quite a bit. I hear a good few things, but for the most part, I think he must just write that one down.
Any
Doesn't
idea?
have any. Oh, go for it.
And out of character, I think he'll.
No, go ahead, Logan.
Oh, but I think out of character, I think he mentioned this seasonal mania. That's something new he was trying
That's
to
right.
get
I remember.
published.
Yes. Is that? Do you get the feeling that that's what he's referring to?
Quite probably.
Okay.
Because, especially with what he did specifically say, you could almost guess that releasing Robbie would come with a potential to advance in a man who's been at St. Agnes for a long time.
Okay.
And, like, you
I
can
knew
really
it.
tell that this isn't some, like, head of state kind of asylum. This is a country asylum.
Yeah.
Mr. Reed, do you happen to know if Dr. Highsmith has any confidants here in the asylum?
Confidants? As in, like,
Yeah, someone he shares his personal thoughts. You know, even therapists need a therapist, you know, kind of deal.
if he did, I wouldn't know about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Very personal man, that one. Very focused in on his work and writing and
Let's see.
Writing.
Now, you said that Dr. Highsmith is the one who has access to the original interview files, correct?
yes.
Okay.
I wonder if he's back at his office yet. Okay, I don't actually say that. I would never say that in front of Mr. Reeves. That shit. I can't wait to rob the shit out of him later.
Back and break into his office, like.
Yes.
No, on a serious note, though, I do think we should go back and break into his office.
Actually, does.
Yeah. That out of character, I think that should be our next step.
He does seem suspicious.
Oh, definitely. We might just want to stay one more night here and just to make sure everything is all right.
If we stay one,
Since
it'll
we're
be
most likely
two.
gonna miss our train today.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, currently, as there are clocks here, you can tell that it's currently just about 1 o'clock.
Oh,
Spend some time with your interviews and everything, and then short ride back.
all right. That's not
Oh.
too bad.
Who's good at picking locks? I guess.
I have no experience with this whatsoever, for
Same.
I am a good, upstanding citizen.
Same.
I would have to roll a 1 to do it.
Same.
I'm not playing as a gangster this time, so I don't have my skill. Thank you.
No.
I mean, I'm pretty good at switching stuff around and doing some tricks, but I can't locks. That's beyond me.
Wait a second. We could have our buddy Lennon pickpocket the keys from Dr. Highsmith.
Ooh.
Are you an adept pickpocket, Lennon?
I'm gonna pull.
Now, you're no longer in Dr. Reed's office, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I was
so, we
thinking
have to
that.
silence him.
Murder time.
I'm assuming you stepped away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm
Just
gonna.
making sure.
I'm gonna pull Darren's wallet out of my pocket. Yeah, pretty decent.
Oh, amazing.
I'm not handing it
Uh,
back. I can give it a
Oh.
whirl.
oh, Lennon.
Is that the route you want to take?
I mean,
I think we're,
do you know how to pick the locks, or would we need the key?
A hobo, not a criminal.
I mean, there's not really a difference.
Oh, wow.
You just stole my wallet. I mean, tell me that's not a criminal activity.
I'm
He told you
taking
about
guard
it.
of your wallet.
It's not like he took the money.
Yeah.
I'd say he's not giving
Yeah, I
it
didn't
back.
do that.
It's called borrowing.
It's called safekeeping.
just a prank.
But I can give it a shot if that's what we want.
I guess my question is, do the potential benefits of doing so and going through his office outweigh the risk involved? Do we think we're going to get information that is that useful that it's worth this?
Probably
down.
not.
What I can say is the rest of the document that you read was pretty mundane for like a regular interview between Dr. Highsmith and
Yep, and one of the only names blotted out was, we're pretty sure, Delilah, correct?
Delia. No,
Oh, Delia.
yeah, there's no second L.
Gotcha. Maybe we just need to figure out who this Malcolm, Delia, and what was the other name? Edward?
Yeah.
Or about this place, Carcosa, near the lake. Like, both Lucius and Robbie seemed pretty convinced this place actually exists.
The name of the play we went to was called Carcosa, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, so
Yeah,
maybe we can
investigating.
go back to London and ask the playwriter.
Well, and he derived the play from the book that he lent to Darren Prescott.
Oh, Darren, did you happen to read that book that the screenwriter or the playwriter gave you?
Every cover.
No. it
Well,
wasn't.
what did you find out? Did you read about this place, Carcosa?
You would have read about Carcosa.
Yeah.
You would
Yes,
have
I
known it's on a lake.
7.
It's on a lake.
A lot of what Alexander Robbie spoke about actually sounded very similar to words that were through the book. Like, it almost sounded like he was quoting right from the king in yellow. Uh, Lucius, he just kind of sounded like he was saying the words. He wasn't really streaming them together really well.
So the claim that Lucius is Robbie's teacher is most likely false.
I suspected that
Or
from the beginning.
it just means Lucius is unworthy.
Unworthy of what exactly? That was an interesting choice of words there, Mr. Prescott.
He's a
I
writer.
don't know how
That's
else
what
to
they do.
explain it.
Do you feel yourself worthy?
Would I feel worthy?
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 I mean, that
No, whoops.
it's kind of hard to say. Let's see here. Back in the play, you actually enjoyed it, right? You were one of the ones who enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yes. In that
Oh,
case,
ribbit.
you would feel that in Carcosa, you might feel comfortable.
I feel. I would say so. I think it's something worth aspiring to in the very least.
Would you know how, is this Carcosa, is it just a figment of this writer's imagination?
Well, I don't know if anyone's consulted a map at all or a globe.
Not yet.
But the way that it's written about, it's written as if it's very real. Also, it kind of mentions that it's a city that's in a different star.
Oh.
Oh, what's that?
That doesn't sound particularly real.
Nope.
You don't sound real.
Oh man, a mental attack.
Psychic damage. AFK for just a second.
Yep. Alright, so what's the next move of the group?
Out of character, I am at a loss. I have no fucking clue what we should do next.
I mean,
That's it.
would you like to make an idea roll?
Fuck it, yeah, let's make an idea roll.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Right now I'm thinking maybe we'll just go to the pub and hope
I
someone
mean,
says
at this
something.
point, there's not a whole lot we can get from here. The crazy guy won't talk, and
I'm of the, I kind of agree with Lennon there. I think we've probably learned everything we're going to learn at this place.
No.
So what do I do for an idea roll? What do I got to do here?
Yeah.
Intelligence. Yeah. I also rolled for that, and I got a 3.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Or before I just roll dice like goon.
That's what I do.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find it here because I know I wrote it down. I believe an idea roll is based off of your intelligence.
Yep.
Intelligence.
You're dumber than me.
On my sheet, it says right under your intelligence, it says idea under it. And
Okay.
under
Oh,
education,
gosh.
it should say no. Like knowledge, kind of no.
Makes sense.
Okay, I got a 30 out of 75, so that is a hard success.
Mine
Yes.
was
Brainiacs.
So, at this point of time, you really feel that there isn't much left here for you. You really feel it might be time to head back and kind of just mull things over for a little bit.
It's a pretty sensible idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we've.
As much as I would love to find some hidden secret, I don't think we're gonna find it.
Not today, at least.
Yeah. So,
Prescott sleeps with his shoes on. There you go. Here's your hidden secret. Let's go home.
I mean,
You said you wouldn't tell.
I promise no such thing.
I bet they're smellier than anything.
Stop digging.
Ooh.
Stop.
All right. Well, you guys head on home. Obviously, make the train in time, and a couple of days go by as everything's
Days later.
exactly.
Did I end up developing that weird photo I took?
Yes,
Ooh.
you did.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a very spooky photo.
Oh, I am shook.
Sanity.
But a few days go by, and it's nice for a minute to kind of put the case down, as you guys were in the thick of it there for a minute, and
Crazy people.
then
Yeah, buddy.
Darren, you receive a phone call.
A phone call.
Yes, at
Shit, I didn't know we had a phone.
on Sunday the 4th.
November 4th.
Yes.
Or are we going back in
Sorry,
time again?
Monday the 4th.
Hello?
Hi, this is Detective Andrew Taylor. Is this Darren Prescott?
Yes it is. What is this about, Detective?
Yes, I'm calling, and just so you're aware, this is the new Scotland Yard on the embankment. I am calling because I have your name down in a person of interest. Did you recently have communications with one Dr. Trollope? Does this name mean anything to you?
Dr. what? I'm sorry, you cut out for a second.
Dr. Trollope.
Yes, I did speak with Dr. Trollope a few days ago. What is this about?
Well, I just, I needed to call here, looking over everything. Dr. Trollope, unfortunately, has been found murdered.
I'm sorry, he's been murdered?
Why, yes. He was found murdered. It appears right in town at St. James Park.
Right in St. James Park? Oh, this is terrible. How did my name come up, though? I'm confused.
Well, your name just came up as I see that you were in a recent appointment with him. You see, I have that it looks like you stopped out to talk with him on the 29th.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Some associates and myself stopped at his home and we had a conversation with him for a little while.
All right. And did you have any communications with him thereafter?
I don't believe so. We said our goodbyes and thanked him for the information and we went along our way.
Okay. And as for information, would this be, well, is there anything that you could tell me maybe about the doctor's frame of mind or anyone that he was concerned about recently?
Oh, he seemed fine, I believe. He was in normal control of his faculties. I don't remember him being nervous about anyone in particular. Not that I can recall.
Okay. All right. Well, I am just taking some notes here. Now,
Is there anything I can do to help, or?
Oh,
Well-
shouldn't have said that.
I'm not opposed to anyone checking out the area. As we've cleaned everything up, but as of right now, there's not much that we have to go off of. Now, of course, if you do find anything, if you do go out and check out the area, feel free to reach out to me and let me know what you find.
Yes. I'm sorry. What was your name, Detective?
Yes, I am Inspector Taylor, Andrew Taylor.
Inspector with Scotland Yard.
But no, nothing that you recall of him mentioning anyone he was concerned of?
Did he mention anyone that he was concerned of? I don't
No,
recall
he
doing
did
so
not.
at all.
He
I
was
didn't-
I mean, he was against the release of Robbie,
Yeah,
much to the disagreement of Dr. Highsmith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Highsmith murdered him.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah.
If you,
Interesting.
I don't
I mean,
know.
if all you have to do is talk.
I don't know if you're able to tell me this, Inspector, but would you be able to let me know if you say that he was murdered?
Yes.
In what way exactly?
Well, let's see here.
He's dead.
You, actually might be able to get a copy of the paper that talks about that. But from what we could tell, he was killed at night, right about a bridge in St. James Park. It was shortly after 6 o'clock in the evening.
What date was it? Sorry.
The only description that we were able to get was from a young newspaper boy who said that it was a tall man in a dark, long coat.
Interesting.
Have
And,
you seen the body? Did it seem particularly brutal or?
Wouldn't say so. It almost seemed as if it were almost like a mugging. There were only a couple of stab wounds right to the abdomen. And, though one other thing that we did find in Dr. Trollop's hands, there was a brown leather bootless that he had. Kind of like a necklace. But it was torn. We don't know if it belonged to the killer or not.
Let's see if this. I'm not there.
A bootlace?
Yes. Yep.
Like BOOTLACE?
Yeah. But they were also commonly used for like necklaces as well.
Oh shit, you like cut out for the whole first part there. All I heard was, but they were commonly used as necklaces.
Oh no, that's all I said.
Yeah.
That was the entirety.
What timing? What day did this happen?
Thank you for letting me know this terrible news. It's very likely that I will be going down to St. James Park later today to look into this, if you don't mind.
Oh, but of course, if you can find anything, please report it to the New Scotland Yard. And otherwise, yes, if I'm glad that I had the chance to speak with you. I will say, between you and your companions, I doubt that you guys have any relation to the incident, but
No, sure. This would have occurred last night, you say?
oh no, this murder happened on the 31st.
The 31st.
Go ahead and pull some more leaves off that plant tonight, Dolan.
Okay.
Look at the little one too a little bit, if you want. No.
Three,
And 31st, just so you guys know, is when you were still in town looking into the other murders that happened.
Fuck. Let's have Heisman. 7 people killed while we're away.
What about the brother? The rich, famous banker guy.
Yeah, his only relative.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's gonna be a little freaked out now.
Well, it does sound like it was just a mugging or something that went happen. There's no, I don't know. There's no indication that it was, supernatural.
It's a conspiracy.
I feel like it's weird that, I don't know, for some reason I'm still suspecting Highsmith.
As soon as I get off the phone, I will tell Lennon, who I'm assuming is nearby somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Staring blankly out a window.
Actually, Lennon, you see as the newspaper carrier comes up and puts a letter in the mailbox.
Okay. I'll gather them up.
And you actually see one of the letters looks like it's postmarked from Dr. Trollope's office.
Oh,
Alright, I'll wait
the
for
plot thickens.
wait.
Lennon, you're not going to believe this. I just got a call from Scotland Yard. Apparently, do you remember a few days ago we met with Dr. Trollope?
Yeah.
He was murdered.
Coincidental?
In what way? What do you mean?
I'm asking, do you think it is, or do you think there's something fishy?
I surely don't know. It's very strange, at least. Why would someone have murdered Dr. Trollope?
I don't know, but we got a letter from the office of the late Dr. Trollope, I guess. I'll hand it over.
I will take the letter immediately and open it up.
All right. So it's actually quite the letter. I sent it through Discord here. I'm not sure how clear it came. Next time we're in person, I'll have a handout for you.
Oh, I see it.
It's sideways.
Yeah. And it's a doozy.
Oof.
That's not it.
Oh, that's not it?
So
It's funny if you can read the cursive version.
yeah, there's the cursive version. That is his actual written letter. The other one is there's a second part that didn't get attached when I sent it.
Oh, so it's. I was looking at the one picture first, but they are both. One of them is the letter that he sent, and the other is in print, so you can read it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, the in-print one is only 1 page. The letter's 2 pages that didn't get sent, but I'll just go off of the print one.
Dear sir, I write this fast upon your leaving our meeting. I am going to be very frank. Please pardon any offense that I cause. I am not certain of Dr. Highsmith's motives in this case, but I sense a curiosity in you, which I have decided to place my trust. I find myself in need to enjoy myself.
Just get a brief overview.
I hesitate to put these on paper, but nevertheless I proceed. Contrary to possible appearance, I am anxious to help Alexander. His father was a good friend of mine, so I've known him since he was just a small boy. He is a decent, gentle young fellow who has, I find, fallen in the circumstances that pursues him. First, I was June 22nd, my husband told me he was unmedicated and lucid, and I found this to be the case despite some period of confusion on his part. But his conversation was odd indeed. It seemed quite unlike the young man I knew. One of the few references in our talk that I could make out could make sense of referred to the book he authored, and upon my return to London, I undertook to look to it. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago, he published a volume called The Walker by the Lake. Am I aware of this book?
That would be the English translation. Der Wander durch den See. The initial writing that you had heard.
That also was based off of.
Yes.
So is that the book that I read?
You read a copy of it that was interpreted, and it was older. So The Wanderer by the Lake was written after The King in Yellow, and you have a copy of the annotated King in Yellow. But you were told about The Walker by the Lake by Tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexander Robbie. Okay. I believe that it would be difficult for me to digest, but through much within it was indeed bizarre or puzzling. Somehow it held me. Certain words and phrases therein reminded me of Alexander's talk at the asylum, and I could see that these writings spoke the root of his incapacity. Oddly, sections of the narrative were in German. I transcribed and later translated these passages. My second visit to Alexander was about 6 months after the first, just before Christmas. On this occasion, I found him sedated and correspondingly uncommunicative. Anxious that my journey may not be a fruitless one, I thought to try an experiment. I had bought some papers with me, transcriptions of his book, and I began to read out one of the German passages in that language. I'm not sure what I expected from this. I suppose I am merely seeking a reaction of some kind. I stumbled over the phrases. I am not skilled at languages. But then Alexander responded. He spoke the text along with me, as I did. I stopped reciting myself and tried to engage him. What happened next is difficult for me to say. He kept speaking now, and I could see that he was overly excited, so I was reaching out to touch his shoulder. As I did, I suddenly felt very weak, and the next thing I know, I was lying on the ground. Inexplicably panicked, the madhouse attendant was down on one knee, giving me assistance, and Alexander stood above us. His face was one old and very sad. I'm very sorry, doctor. I cannot change what you saw. And then I remembered what that was. I'll tell you that I think that Alexander knows how his father and sister died, and that their deaths were a result of events involving a person or persons using him. It seems Alexander came particularly under the influence of Mr. Lawrence Bacon. Mr. Lawrence Bacon. This is the first time we're hearing the name, isn't it?
Correct.
Antique merchant in Liverpool Road.
Spectrum 9.
It links autism.
Sorry, I'm writing some stuff down as I read this.
No worries.
It's an information bomb.
Yeah, you're just starting to get into the meat of this letter.
Mr. Bacon is an antique merchant with premises in Liverpool Road, Illingston, but I believe he may also be a self-styled occultist. This information was gained at the behest of Alexander's brother Graham through a private investigative detective hired in Wapping. Mr. Vincent Tuck, investigator.
And that ending there has
Yeah.
Miss Harston.
Hmm.
It's the first time we've heard that.
Probably Delia. I'm thinking that's the Delia.
Your slippers away from me.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you read what he saw when he was in Alexander's cell?
He saw his own death. That's fucking crazy.
And just so you know, I don't need to alter this one. The dating on this letter is correct.
Okay.
The 3rd of November. So he wrote this yesterday.
But he
That's
died
right.
on the.
That's what it's postmarked for.
That just means somebody sent it out for him after his death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he have a secretary or something?
Housekeeper.
Ah, that's right, the old lady.
Yeah, she told us when he was most vulnerable.
Yeah. I think I wrote her name down too.
Hughes.
Yes.
Postmarked the 3rd. Should it have been postmarked on a Sunday?
I did not write the name down, so.
That's fine. I mean, that letter is. I have the handout. You guys will have access to it from now on.
Would turn. Steering wheel.
Because we have 3 really important names from that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Lennon, in this letter,
Len
he
has,
talks about seeing how he died. Once,
real quick, Garrett's gone to bed. It's after 9, so.
I was actually
he
just gonna mention that I was
Lennon.
planning to go to bed soon too.
Well,
Sorry.
Just laid on the ground and fell asleep.
well, this is a pretty good time to cut off anyways. There's a lot to digest.
Yes.
As now your interview options are quite open.
Yes.
And there's a lot more information to work off of now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
My God.
Okay.
so Celeste, if you'd like to make yourself on the ready, I think this is a good time to end, as we will digest all of this information and decide what we're going to do next time on Call of Cthulhu when we receive this next call.
I should just run. Someone's killing people.
I know.
All right. Good night to everyone, and see you next time.
Bye.
Buddy.